Pope Francis meets the media. Alan Pizzi was in the audience with the Pope and joins us now. Good morning, Alan.
Good morning, Anthony. Well, it was an interesting close-up view, the first one we've had, and it was the first impression I had when he walked in was this is a very vigorous man. He's 76, he's only got one along and a bit, and he strode across the stage. His voice was strong, and he did what they told us he would do. He broke from the prepared notes that he had. At one point, he was thanking the press for all the work they'd done, and he paused and smiled and said, "You worked very hard," which got him a round of applause from us. There were about 6,000 journalists accredited here from 81 countries. And one of the things we were hoping for, was some insights into how he got elected. And indeed, he gave us some. He said that during the voting, when it looked like he was going to win, a close friend of his, Cardinal Hummes from Brazil, embraced him and said, "Don't forget the poor." And Pope Francis said at that point, the name came to him. He would call himself Francis after Francis of Assisi, who was for the poor. And he said in that vein, what he hoped was to have a poor church for the poor people. And it's kind of a hard word to interpret. He said a poor church. Does he mean a church without money? No, what he meant was a church without ostentation. He himself was in a simple white cassock. And interesting, one of the things that we were all looking at was his feet. He's not yet put on the papal red shoes. You remember when Benedict was elected, people said, "Oh, the Pope wears Prada." In fact, he didn't. He just wore red shoes. But this Pope is not wearing them. And then when it was all done, the speaking, up came the people who'd been chosen by lot to be embraced by him. It was the staff of the Vatican Press Office and then the journalists. And one of the things that was interesting was that he's very tactile. He touched people. He seems to be a very warm person. And that's a bit of a change, if you will, Anthony. Rebecca?
All right, Alan Pizzi in Vatican City. Thanks, Alan.